You might be wondering, why can't we get more police reform? Haven't you seen The Wire? Shit. Let's be real. After so many police shootings, the cops are quickly becoming the last people you're going to call in an emergency. Oh, 911? No. Do I have Cosby's number? I know. Ghostbusters. No, they're all women. It's safe to say at this point, most people of color will try the Lassi Strategy before calling police. Go get help, girl! Get help! Anyone but the boys in blue! Can you see blue? It's become increasingly clear that police keep misbehaving because nothing happens when they do. In a study of nearly 11,000 incidents of police misconduct, just over 3,200 resulted in criminal charges, and only a third of those charges resulted in a conviction. Compare that to the general public. We're convicted twice as often. So why is it so hard to hold police accountable? Well, we all know that prosecutors and police often have a notoriously cozy relationship. Shit. And the juries often give police the benefit of the doubt in court. Murder? But he's in uniform. But to understand where this privilege all starts from, you have to look at the police internally, past the Krispy Kremes and the blocked arteries. In 14 states, it starts with something called the Law Enforcement Officer's Bill of Rights, guidelines that give police privileges in internal investigations. Cops say they need these extra protections because their jobs are so dangerous. And here I thought that was what the guns and armor were for. These Bill of Rights grant cops protections a civilian would have no chance of getting, including a cooling off period of 10 and in some cases 30 days before ever being questioned. 30 days? You know what Stephen Avery could have done with that time? Probably not much. And the protections don't end there. In many states, officers can review the testimony against them before questioning, have the luxury of only being interviewed by one officer, and in Rhode Island, accused cops can choose one of the three people that decides their punishment. I picked Jake the beer snake. You owe me, bruh. When anyone challenges or tries to amend the police's Bill of Rights, they're fought at every turn. Like in Maryland after Freddie Gray's death, when lawmakers tried to close that 10-day cooling off period and also thought, while we're at it, shouldn't cops be mentally fit?
Psychological testing for officers every 3 years is fiercely opposed by the police union.
Really? Man, the only organizations that actively avoid psychological tests for their members are usually the ones that need them most. Church of Scientology. Let's talk about the unions, another privilege most Americans don't have. The largest police union is called the Fraternal Order of Police, the only fraternity you can't call the cops on. They sound pretty tough. That is, unless Beyonce is in town. In April, Miami's FOP voted to boycott working her show.
We're not going to voluntarily show up there and sign up to work for a woman that has portrayed a message that is anti-police.
Not to mention a woman whose message is super confusing. What the hell's a surfboard? But police unions have a lot of pull. In Maryland alone, in the last decade, police groups have donated around $1 million to state elections, and the National FOP has spent over $5 million on lobbying since 1998. Some of that effort goes towards keeping weapons in police departments that are usually intended for war. And to that end, they've endorsed, you guessed it, the guy who promised cops in Akron, Ohio, they can keep their M16s. I know how that soapbox derby gets, Akron. And the National Union is so powerful, even the head of the Philadelphia branch told a local news station he couldn't go against the presidential endorsement even if he wanted to.
He said his hands are tied, that he and his lodge are prohibited by charter rule from taking a public position that differs from that of the national brass. McNesby said, and I quote here, "They'll hand me my head."
Something tells me that's not figurative. Unions are also good at blocking legislation that would, God forbid, hold them accountable, like changes to the Bill of Rights, or adopting body cameras, or creating civilian review boards. In Boston, the police commissioner last month said cops should wear name tags, and the union was against that, which means there's more accountability at Jamba Juice when they mess up my strawberry tsunami, Karen F. Unions also use arbitration to help cops get their jobs back after they've been fired for misconduct, like the Philadelphia cop who sucker punched a woman at a parade, or the one from Miami who killed a man at a traffic stop, or the Oakland officer who killed 2 unarmed people in the span of 7 months. Man, if only teachers' unions had that kind of power. What about Miss Watson's Grades for Booze exchange program? She apologized, and now she's taking your parking spot. In Boston, police unions were able to overturn 72% of the discipline decisions for things like assault and being an accessory to murder. It's so bad there, even the police commissioner is worried.
I'm all for the officers and their rights, but they're putting officers back to work that could endanger the public, and I'm not comfortable with that.
A police commissioner saying he's uncomfortable is like a flight attendant voluntarily taking their seat. We're gonna die. It all feels pretty ironic. Police are meant to protect us, but it seems they spend a good amount of time being protected from us, from our scrutiny, our criticism, the halftime show. So just how tough are the police? After all the military-grade weaponry, the unions, their very own Bill of Rights, maybe they feel safer, but do we? Shit. Thanks for watching Newsbroke. Please subscribe. You know, we're just a little baby channel. We're like a little baby bird, and we really need your regurgitated thoughts to just help us, you know,